Alright, Shalom. Before I get into my lesson, I want to start off giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and Ruel, and Shalom to the hopefully elect, the fellow laborers that's on the highways and byways, pushing the ministry, the true doctrine of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, in all truth and sincerity. This is the brother Shaquat Gabar from the Great Millstone, Charlotte Camp, coming at you with another lesson. And like always, the message is to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, man. But that's the only nation that the world, who the world English calls God, Yahweh, and the Son, who the world English calls Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai, is only dealing with, man. The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And those that are Negro, Latino, and Native American descent on their father's side, man. You know, according to the seed, man. So basically, man, my lesson is going to be touching about how the Lord scattered Israel, the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans amongst all nations, man, throughout the entire earth, man, throughout all these different countries under these heathens, man, which the heathens were considered the so-called white people, the Japanese, the Arabs, the Chinese, you know, the Africans, you know, the East Indians, the Hawaiians, Samoans, the Togans, you know, the Polynesians, you know, Aboriginals, you know, where you have our people scattered amongst all nations, man. And that's one of the curses that the Lord put upon Israel, man, that he was going to scatter them throughout the entire planet Earth, man, you know, under the hands of their enemies, man. You know, so basically, you know, I'm going to get into the scripture showing you how the Lord cast the nation of Israel out of the land of Israel and how he scattered us throughout all nations, man, for a punishment, man. That's why we scatter amongst our heathens, our enemies, man, because of the disobedience of Israel, man, going against Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, breaking the law, statute, commandments, following these false gods of these heathens, you know, leaving our custom that the Moses gave us, gave to the children of Israel, leaving our customs, our statutes, our laws, and leaving off from our laws to join these heathens, man, following they false philosophies, they idols, they gods, which are no gods, man, because the only true power is Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man, the power of everything, man, and he only dealing with the nation of Israel. So I'm going this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So the Lord saying that if we don't obey his word, man, if we don't obey the law, statute, commandments that the Lord gave to us through Moses, that he was going to put curses on us, man. And here's one of the curses that he put upon the nation of Israel, man. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So that what happened, man. The Lord scattered the nation of Israel amongst all these heathens, man, you know, for a punishment, man. And the Lord said there where they serve other gods, man, because since Israel didn't want to take heed to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, to the law, statute, commandments, what happened, man? The Lord made mockery of us, man. He scattered us throughout the earth under the hands of our enemies, man, throughout the earth by living amongst the heathens. And what happened, man, throughout the time of us being over there or being under these heathens, man, we took hold of their philosophies, man. They customs, man. They false gods, man. You know. This is you know, and our people are scattered until this day, man, amongst the heathen, man. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 18, verse 2. That sendeth ambassador by the sea, even vessels of blursuch upon the waters, saying, Go ye swift messengers to a nation scattered and plead to a people terrible from their beginning hereto, a nation mete out and trod it down, whose land the rivers have spoiled. So basically, man, the Lord in these last days, man, has raised up the nation of Israel, the prophets, starting with the men of great millstone, from the apostles and elders on down, and those that's in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that's prophesying to the nation of Israel, because that's the messenger, man. We represent Yahweh Shem Yahushua's mouth, man. We're here to tell our people that's scattered amongst the heathens, the ones that are here in America, the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, that you are the chosen people of the Lord, man, and come back to your power, man, before the great dreadful day of the Lord, man. And what is that dreadful day? When the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, destroy America by thermonuclear fire, man. Before the Lord bring this place down, man, crash this place, man, crash this economy, man, and they implement the RFID chip, man, which is the mark of the beast. Because what these elites trying to do, man, they trying to implement the mark of the beast system so they can govern the whole world, man. And we wanted our people telling them, don't take that chip, man. Don't take that mark of the beast, man, from this new world order, man. Because what's going to lead to that, man? Death and destruction, man. Because those that take the mark of the beast, the RFID chip, is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire, man. And it's up and coming World War III, man. Right along with America, man. Because the Lord, Yahushua, is coming back to judge America and to judge these Edomites, man, these so-called white people, and these heathen nations, man, which are our enemies, man. And 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans are going to get caught up into this beast system and going to be destroyed, man, for taking heed to the government, man, trusting in America, man, instead of trusting in your power, man, coming back and repenting and believing on Yahushua. But only the elect is going to take heed, is going to be delivered out of the dreadful times of America, man. Continue on. This is Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 9, verse 16, and it reads, I will scatter them also among the heathen, who neither they know nor their fathers have known, and I will send a sword after them till I have consumed them. So this is what the Lord did to us, man. He sent out the nation of Israel, the people of the nation of Israel, the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans scattered amongst the heathens, man. So everywhere these heathens at, you have Israelites amongst them, man. Now you got the confused faces, man, which are the Gentiles in the New Testament, man. Israelites, foreigners, man, that lost their custom by being scattered amongst the heathens, man. And they took on the heathens' custom, man. So when Yahushua died, man, he was dying for the Israelite foreigners, man. That's why he set up Paul. That's why he set up the 12 disciples and men that was up under the disciples and Paul, man, to go out there and preach amongst the dispersed, amongst the Gentiles, meaning preach amongst the Israelites that was amongst the heathens, man, and bring them back to their custom, man. Let them know that they're not Egyptians, they're not East Indians, they're not so-called white, even though you're gonna have Israelites that's gonna look like other nations, the confused faces, but if they mind or their spirit dwell with this word, with the message that the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua has set up through his men, his prophets, and most likely they're Israelites, man, according to the spirit and the flesh, man. If they see, go back to Negro, Latino, and Native American descent, man. Because a lot of these people out here, when they hear about the Israelites, they consider thinking it's just a black thing. That's what they call us black Hebrew Israelites, man. But that don't make sense, man. Because like I say, man, our people, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites, are scattered throughout the whole entire earth, man, amongst under every nation, man. So you got our people, majority of our people that look like these heathens, man, because we were scattered, So this thing about us is not just a black Hebrew Israelite thing, man. You had Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, and also the confused faces that go back to Negro, Latino, and Native American descent, man. And that's what messing a lot of these Christians up, man. These scoffers and these scorners, seeing that you have these Israelites that look like heathens coming out and waking up, claiming that they're Israelites, man. Going into the scriptures and breaking it down, just like the average look Israelites, man, that's out there, man. Why? Because they are Israelites, man, according to the Spirit, man. Because this thing of ours is spiritual, man. We're not carnal-minded, man. We go by the Spirit, and we have the understanding, knowing that the nation of Israel is scattered amongst all nations, man. So you're gonna have our people looking like the other nations, but we also know that those that's gonna be part of the elect is gonna be ones that look like other nations, man. You know, even though you got 2/3 or the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans that are confused faces, also, what's gonna happen to them, man? They're gonna die also, right along with the average look of an Israelite 2/3, man. And I'm gonna go down to verse go down to verse 18, and it reads, this is Jeremiah, no Salaki. This is Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 17, and it reads, and I will scatter them as with an east wind before the enemy, and I will show them the back and not the face, and in the day of the calamity. So basically, man, the Lord said He scatter us, man. You know, He showed us His back, meaning He took the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from us, man. That's why we got kicked out of our land during the time of 70 AD, man. You know, from Roman prosecution, the southern kingdom, man. You know, and right before that, man, we was in captivity under the Assyrians, you know, which are the northern kingdom, which make up the Latinos and Native Americans. You know, they was in captivity under the Assyrians, man. You know, and what happened to them, man? After they captivity under the Assyrians, they left the Assyrian captivity. They came over here on the Western Hemisphere to dwell over here throughout the Americas, right before the so-called white man came and took the lands from them, man. You know, so the Lord been scattered the nation of Israel, man, starting off with the northern kingdom, man. And after that, the southern kingdom, which is Judah, Benjamin, Levi, the Negroes, Haitians, and the Jamaicans. What happened to them after the captivity of the northern kingdom, man? We got taken down by the Babylonians, man. You know, and they had us in captivity, man. And throughout all history, man, ever since after the times of David and Solomon and the kings of Solomon's sons, you know, we went into captivity, man. You know, we went into captivity under the Persians, you know, and the Medes, the Greeks, the Romans. And the Romans was the main nation that destroyed our land and scattered us out of our land of Israel, man. And we are scattered out of our land until this day, man. Because the majority of our people, the Israelites, the southern kingdom, ran into the west coast of Africa, you know, ran into Asia, you know, ran into Europe, you know, and was scattered amongst the heathens, man. And you also had a lot of our people in these day of time are scattered amongst the heathen by joining the so-called white man military, man. You know, a lot of our people that was, you know, here in America that joined the American military, what happened, man? They got sent overseas, you know, in Vietnam, you know, over there, you know, parts of China, Japan, you know, Iraq, you know, over there in the Middle East, man. So our people are scattered amongst all nations, man. And what happened, man, when they live there amount of time, man, they leave their seed behind, man. They pop, they have sex. Our men, the Israelite men, have sex with the heathens women. You know, these heathen women, they leave their seed, man. You know, and the seed and your nationality is determined by your father, man. You know, so that what happened, man. That was one of the curses that the Lord put amongst Israel for being disobedient to Him, man. He scattered us amongst the heathens and took our inheritance away from us, man, and have our enemies over us right now, man. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 17. And it reads, Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven away. First the king of Assyria had devoured him. So that, like I'm going into, man, the king of Assyria, man, who they first devoured, man, the northern kingdom, man, which are the Latinos and the Native Americans, man. You know, during the time of, you know, right before the downfall of the southern kingdom, man. The Assyrian captivity was of you Latinos and Native Americans, man. You know, and thenceforth, then when the northern kingdom was scattered, man, coming over here to the Americans, man, and also you had the Native Americans that was captured by the so-called white man on this side, man, by the the Spaniards, the Englishmen, the Frenchmen. What happened, man? They took some of the Native Americans and the Latinos and put them on cargo slave ships also, and scattered them amongst the west back to the eastern hemisphere. They're like in places like Europe, Asia, all over, man. But that's one of the curses that the Lord did to the nation of Israel, man. That He was going to scatter us through slavery. Continue on, and it read, Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 17. Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First the king of Assyria had devoured him, and last this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had broken his bones. And the Lord set up the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar, to who? To enslave the southern kingdom, man. After years after the northern kingdom went down by the hands of the Assyrians, man. You had the Babylonians took down the southern kingdom, man, and had the Negroes, Haitians, and the Jamaicans, which is Judah, Levi, and Benjamin, in captivity, man. And our people always been scattered even the time of the ancient days, right before the dark ages, right before the time of Yahweh Shai, coming on the scene, man. Our people always been scattered, man, amongst the heathens, man. Because a lot of our people also got scattered during the time of King David, when he had his wars, his mighty men, when they took down these heathens. What happened, man? They took the women for spoil, man. And they just didn't just look at the women, the heathen women. They had sex with them, man, and they left their seed amongst the heathens, man. They might look like I said, they might look like a heathen, but they still are Israelites according to the seed of the Father, man. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And it reads, And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage that I have gave thee. And I will cause thou to serve thy enemies in a land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. So the Lord said that, man, He discontinued us from our heritage, man. Even the prophets, man, even the ones that was, doing right by the Lord, man, trying to do the best they can, man, by pleasing the Lord. But what happened, man? The Lord sent the whole nation into captivity, man, because this prophecy, man, that He said He was going to scatter the whole land, the whole nation of Israel throughout the planet Earth, man, under their enemies, man, for being disobedient, man. So we lost our heritage over the years, man. That's why for the past years until now, man, what happened, man? You got the nation of Israel got all type of different bywords and names, and that's not ours, man, because we are the children of Israel, man. But right now, what are people calling themselves? Negro, black, African American, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Mexican, Native American, Seminole, Indian, all these proverbs and bywords, man, which is confusion, man, because that's not our nationality, man. Our nationality is Israel, man, for whatever tribe you're from, man. That's what the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua named us, man. And for us having those bywords and proverbs on us, man, these names put on us, what happened, man? We got discontinued for our heritage, man. We didn't know that we were Israelites, We didn't know the name of the Lord. We didn't know, we didn't understand the prophecy. We thinking that the so-called white man is the Lord chosen people, man, that they the real Jews, that the Lord is a so-called white man. All that is being discontinued for our heritage, man, for my true customs, man, But now the Lord is waking His men up through the elect, man, starting off with the elect, only the elect, man, you know, for this moment, man, that the Lord is calling back to their true inheritance, man. You know, because at the time we coming into, man, because the elect is scattered amongst all nations, man. You know, all nations, the whole nation of Israel is scattered amongst all nations. So therefore, you got the elect that is scattered amongst all these heathens, man. You know, and the Lord is calling them by the ways of the prophets, man. Mainly using the internet, man. While by brothers and the, where the apostles, the elders, and the brothers putting up these videos, man, putting up these lessons, man, throughout the internet, and they can travel, man, you know, at a high speed to different parts of the countries where Israelites, confused faces, Israelites, can watch this word, man, and get the understanding of these scriptures and be sealed, man. And what's going to lead to being sealed and having this word, you know, and you being part of that elect is salvation, man, when Yahweh shall return, man. Because all nations, or the nation of Israel, is just not only here in America. And the elect is not only here in America, man. You know, you got the elect scattered amongst all nations, man, throughout the earth, man. That's why it's so important, you know, to do these videos, man. Because look how many counts of brothers waking up throughout the whole entire planet Earth, man. You know, and the elders and the apostles, you know, and, you know, brothers didn't have to travel, you know, to Germany, you know, Peru, you know, Europe, you know, London, you know, England. You know, the brothers ain't had to travel, you know, Mexico, you know, China, you know, New Zealand. How did those brothers wake up, man? They woke up by hearing the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua through the Spirit on the internet, man, through the YouTube, man. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 3. That then the Lord thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all nations, whether the Lord thy power has scattered thee. So the Lord saying that the time going to come, which we are in the time now, that he's going to return and take our captivity from us, man. Meaning save us out of slavery, man. Take us from the hands of our enemies, these heathens, man. You know, and what he's going to do, man, he's going to bring our enemies down and put the nation of Israel on top, man, starting off with the elect, man. So, because that's the whole point why Yahweh Shai, you know, came and sacrificed himself, man, for the nation of Israel, starting off with the elect, man, and only for the nation of Israel, you know. Because the only way that you so-called heathens, you know, can make it, you know, if a so-called white man or Chinese or Japanese or Arab can make it, if their bloodline go back to negro, Latinos, and Native American descent, man. That's the spiritual thing about the scriptures, man. And that's a stumbling block to a lot of our people, man. You know, seeing that a so-called white dude or white man or Chinese man or Arab, you know, or African, you know, they might look like those heathens, but all actuality, if they fall in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, they're Israelites, man. But only Israel will get this word, man. And on top of that, only the elect, man. You know, and that bug a lot of people out, man. You know, when they see so-called white men in the camps, you know, when they see Chinese or Japanese or Arab, that a confused-faced Israelite in the camp, man. You know, because they first thing they'll think, I thought y'all hate the so-called white man. But not understanding that our people are scattered amongst the so-called whites, the Japanese, the Arabs, man. You know, because the scripture says, try the spirit by the spirit, man. Because this thing about it is spiritual, man. You know, we dealing with the spiritual mind, man, not the carnal flesh, man. And that's how the Lord see everything, man. You know, we just trying the spirit, man. And at the end of the day, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua knows who the elect, and he knows that's which confused fake brother is an Israelite or not, man. Our job is just to push the truth, man. And the truth is that you're going to have Israelites that scattered amongst all the nations, man. And they're going to look like heathens, man. You know? You know, every Israelite is not going to look like John Shaft, Wesley Snipes, you know, LeBron James, you know. You know, they're going to look like these white people out here too, man. These Arabs, man. You know, these East Indians. You know. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 11, and it reads, "For I am with thee, say the Lord, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all the nations where I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished." So basically, you know, the Lord is saying that, you know, even though he sent the nation of Israel scattered amongst all these heathen nations, man, he said he's not going to make a full end of us, man. You know, what he meaning that he's not going to completely destroy us, man. He's going to save a remnant, man. 144,000 and the 1/3, man. You know, that's going to inherit the kingdom, man. The 2/3 of our people is going to be destroyed for they disobedient and not believing in Yahweh Shah and not believing in the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, man. But he said he's going to make a full end to all these nations, man. Meaning he's going to bring these other nations down, man. The so-called white man, the Chinese, the Arabs. Okay, all these heathen nations are ruling right now, man. And the nation of Israel is on the bottom, man. You know, we don't have our own land. You know, we're not keeping our own laws, statutes, commandments, man. We're up on our enemies, man. Where will we scatter to, man? So the Lord's going to take our enemies out of rulership and put the nation of Israel back in power, man. Starting off with Yahweh Shah and the 144,000 and the 1/3 of the nation of Israel, man. You know, right after the destruction of America, man. And once America be destroyed, when Yahweh Shah return with the host of angels, what the world call UFOs, the chariots, the Lord is going to deliver the elect. You know, they're going to deliver the elect and set up the kingdom of heaven. And what's going to happen to our enemies, man? The real enemies, man. These heathens, that they're going to be slaves under us, man. In our kingdom, man. You know, cause like I say, man, you got our people scattered amongst all nations, man. That's why the Lord sent the 12 and the Paul, you know, in that time to go amongst the Gentiles, man. Those that was calling themselves Israelites, that was calling themselves Greeks, Romans, you know, Africans, you know, Egyptians, you know, calling themselves East Indians, you know, following these heathenistic customs, man. Cause you had some of those back then and now that's gonna wake up to the fact that they are not heathens, man. They are not Gentiles, but they are Israelites, man. And it's by the Spirit. And the scriptures prove that, man. This is Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11. "And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, from Egypt, and from Pontus, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Sinai, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea." So basically, man, the Lord's going to redeem the remnant, man. Who is the remnant? The elect, man. That's scattered amongst all these heathen nations, man. You know, they might look like these heathen nations, but their bloodline go back to negro, Latino, and Native American descent, man. Israelites, man, you know. And it readers right there. You know, that our people are scattered amongst the heathens, man. As the Lord say, he did it, man. And that's what we have here today, man. Our people scattered, man. And continuing on, verse 12. "And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth." So the Lord said he set up an ensign, meaning a sign, man. Of what the sign, man? The prophets, man. Starting with the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, man. You know, and the brothers on down, man. The Lord set up the sign for his men to go out there and preach this word, man. To gather in the elect, man. Even the confused faced brothers, man. Those that scattered amongst the heathens, man. Why? Because it's scripture that our people is going to be scattered, man. And it's scripture that the Lord is going to bring a remnant of confused faced brothers, you know, not your average look-alike Israelite, man. Into the truth, and they're going to be saved, man. And we have the understanding of that because why? The Spirit is with us, And the Spirit give us the understanding to know that, that is true, man. That you're gonna have Israelites, foreigners, or confused-faced brothers that's gonna come into the faith and be saved, man. Like I said, man, because it even happened back then, man. How much more now, man? And everything is reincarnated, man. Things that was back then are here now, man. The same Israelites that was back then that believe on Yahweh Shai, that's back here today, that's believing on Yahweh Shai and to get their salvation. The ones that didn't believe on Yahweh Shai, they back here today, they get their judgment from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. Because back then you had people scattered amongst the heathens, man. And they came and they believed Paul and the disciples, man. Believed that they were Israelites, not Gentiles, man. Not these heathen customs, man. And back then you even had 2/3, the ones that knew they were Israelites didn't accept the Israelite foreigners, man. The ones that didn't look like your so-called average negro or West Indian or Haitian back then, man. This is Acts chapter 2, verse 1. And it reads, "And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as fire, and it sat upon each of them. And they were all filled with the Holy Spirit, and began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance." So basically, man, these are talking about Israelite foreigners, man. The ones that they call Gentiles in the New Testament, man. The Israelite foreigners that left their real inheritance of being an Israelite and took on customs of the heathens, or they probably was living amongst, they knew they were Israelites, but they was living amongst the heathens, man. And they came into the Pentecost, meaning the Passover, the fellowship with the the Jews that was in Israel, man. And this how they fellowship with each other, man, because they all of them spoke their own language, because you didn't have everybody back there speaking the Hebrew, man. Some of them spoke the language of the whatever language the Egyptians spoke, the East Indians spoke, the East Indians spoke, whatever the Grecians spoke, the Romans spoke, which was, Latin and Greek, But when it came to the meet on one accord, man, all of us, the Lord put the spiritual power on them to understand each other while they was talking to each other in their own tongue, man, Continue on. "And they were all filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance. And they were dwelling," here's the point right here, "Jerusalem, and there was dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven." So the Lord said these was Jews, man, Israelites, man, that came from amongst other countries or other nations to keep the Passover with their fellow brothers, man. Because they know they were Israelites, man, and they had to come and keep the Passover. Continue on. "Now, when this was a noise abroad, the multitude came together and was confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own tongue." So you had these non-believers, man, the ones that didn't understand, man, the Israelites that didn't understand how these confused faces Israelites or these Israelite foreigners, came to speak in their language to the original Jews was in Israel during that time, in Jerusalem at that time, and how they understand each other, man. They didn't know what was going on because the Lord didn't open up their spiritual eyes to see the miracle, man. And they said, and they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, "Behold, all these which speak all they that were all amazed marveled, and saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue where we were born?" And it read, verse 9, and talking about these are where the men was born at, man, where the Israelite foreigners was born at and came to the Passover, man. And where they was born was outside the nation of Israel or the land of Israel, man. And it reads, Parthians and Medes, Elamites, dwellers of Mesopotamia and in Judea, Cappadocia, Pontus, and Asia. So you had Jakes scattered amongst, East Indians, scattered amongst, the sons of Japheth, scattered amongst the, the Greeks, these are other heathens, man, the so-called white man, the East Indians, known as the Day, the Hawaiians, the Samoans, which will make up the, the Medes. And continue on, and it say, in Asia, represent, basically the Middle East, man, that was scattered amongst Moab and Ammon, the so-called Chinese and Japanese, man. Pargara, Palada, in Egypt, in the parts of Libya about Syrian, and strangers of Rome, Jews, and proselytes. So you even had Israelites that were scattered amongst the Egyptians, the so-called Hamites, man. I mean, which are the Hamites? The so-called Africans, man, the real Africans, man. And it says strangers of Rome, Jews, and proselytes. So basically, you even had Israelites scattered amongst, Rome, man, which was ruled by the so-called white man during that time, man. But that's what Paul was, man. Before Paul came into the truth and had the understanding that he was an Israelite, man, he was calling himself a Roman citizen, man. He was an Israelite that was, in the Roman system, man. Just like how we're Israelites here in America, man. Crates, it say Crates and Aberrants, meaning amongst the Arabs, man. We do hear them speak our tongue in the wonderful works of the Most High, and they were all amazed with doubt, saying one to another, what means this? Others marked, saying, these men are full of new wine. So basically, man, when the Lord did this miracle, having these Israelite foreigners coming from over the different places of the earth where they were scattered to, man, amongst the heathens, and they came and kept the, the Passover, and the Lord blessed those men with that spiritual power to talk to each other in their own different languages, man. You had the unwise, the non-believers didn't understand what they were speaking, man. They start making mockery of them, man, saying it was crazy, man, saying it was drunk, man. But they didn't have the understanding that the Lord, put the Spirit on them to communicate with each other, man, to fellowship with each other, so they could fellowship with each other through the Spirit, man. And that's what we have here today, man. You got a lot of brothers that speak other languages and speak the prophecies and the truth, to amongst brothers that scattered abroad, man, that's not your so-called average American citizen, man, and they speak them languages into the brothers that scattered amongst other nations, man, and they speak also in their tongue, man, they wake up other brothers that to follow them, man. So basically, man, the Lord is doing His works all over again, man, these miracles, man, to gather the elect. And I'm going to get one more scripture. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 29. And it reads, immediately, after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the earth shall be shaken. So basically talking about after, the destruction of America, man, basically once this place fall, man, when the dollar collapsed, and when all hell break loose, when martial law being implemented, the concentration camps being used, famine, all type of plagues and disease, war breaking loose throughout the earth, man, because it's not going to just touch the soils of America. You're going to have all hell breaking loose throughout the whole planet earth, man. All over the place, man. But America is going to be the main place that's going to get the judgment of total destruction, man, from the Heavenly Father and the Son, man, by thermonuclear fire, man, and by the chariots of the angels, man, when Yahweh shall return, man. And it said, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. You know, so the Lord going to come back with this, meaning the signs of heaven. He's going to be in the heavens, meaning he's going to be in the UFOs, the so-called UFOs, the chariots, man. You know, coming back to gather the elect, man. You know, and bring destruction on this place. And to bring war against these heathen armies, man. Starting off with the so-called white man. And to continue to read, and Salaki. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So the Lord is going to send his angels, meaning he's going to give his angels the decree when the time comes, when the Lord come back with the so-called UFOs, the chariots. He's going to gather the elect, man. And they say he's going to gather them from one end of the heaven to the other, man. Meaning the elect is going to be scattered. That elect is going to be scattered amongst all nations. And the Lord is going to deliver the elect wherever they at, man. Wherever they live at, man. If they hear this word and the Lord make them part of, whoever brother hear this word and the Lord make them part of the elect, when the time comes for salvation, man, the Lord is going to deliver them, man, from wherever they at, man. China, Russia, Europe, you know, Japan, the islands over there in Hawaii, you know, the Fiji Islands, you know, all these small islands where Israelites scattered, man, over there, you know, in the Middle East, here in America, South America, Central America, you know, wherever the elect is scattered at, the Lord is going to have mercy upon them and deliver them, man. You know, so this is just a quick little lesson proving that Israel is scattered amongst all nations, man. And even the elect is scattered amongst all nations. And not only that the elect is going to be here in America, but throughout the whole planet Earth, man. And the Lord is going to redeem those that believe on him, man. And real soon it's going to take place, man. You know, so brothers keep fighting and keep pushing, man. You know, don't worry about these scoffers and these scorners, man. Because we know they are part of prophecy of them, you know, being basically going to get their judgment, man, for being non-believers and not having faith and being, you know, markers, man, scoffers and scorners, man, against the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Because we understand the truth, man. That's why we, you know, thank Yahweh Shem Yahushua for giving us this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man, and true teachers, man, to lead us the right way, man, in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So brothers, you know, I pray this lesson be edifying, you know, keep fighting and keep, you know, pushing, man. You know, brothers in the faith, you know, the confused faced brothers that rising up, you know, pushing this word, man. You know, those that be of the hopefully elect, man. The Lord is surely going to come and redeem the nation of Israel, man, starting off with the elect, man. You know, so, you know, next time, to the next time, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone that rule well. And salutation to the hopeful elect, man, the house of David, man, the elect, man, and one on the ones that's in the faith, man, fighting the truth and sincerity, man. Because we almost out of here, brothers. So keep fighting, man. Shalom.